advantageous matchup as we enter picks and bans powered by HyperX. But a little bit of a different look. G2 now on the blue side, and TES choosing second pick. So really wanting to have that counter pick, have that option. Blue side first pick, though, does have a pretty astronomical win rate. I think Azale told me that at 58% or so. So maybe G2 can use this to full effect, or maybe the counter pick will prove more valuable.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty similar to like old blue side too, all the way when it was still paired at the beginning, like first pick and good camera angles. Akali, very, very good ban, especially as you're getting deeper and deeper into Fearless. Even though Creme has assimilated to play all the regular priority mages and everything, his Akali is so nasty. That being said, he could, Yone and stuff like that too. As we get deeper into Fearless, also extremely dangerous still from him. Things like the Silas and stuff become more and more pickable as we get deeper. So, the Jace though, with a Yorick ban, Jace priority, interesting. ZUIAN is very good. Okay. So they are going to ban it themselves. So Yorick ban gets the Jace ban, and let's see what direction we should go here. Is it going to be still towards mid lane? Because you can do like there's like good combination, jungle mid, like a Vi Talia combination maybe.
Make a decent amount of sense. I think the Vi, of course, was banned in the previous pick ban after she didn't get picked up in the first 3, so not surprised to see her, in our 4th game prioritized so early on. TES, see what the response is, but I do really like the having options for simple, straightforward execution, and Vi certainly is one of those. TES Nocturne not as powerful without the Orianna combo, but can still really be a massive threat.
And definitely also signals usually very heavily. You want to play some side lanes, so some solo lanes that are going to benefit from very strong solo lane matchups. With just like the setup of the teams, I think that is a good strategy that TS could go for. Or you can just use Nocturne Cover of Darkness and just get better engages and go super hard engage with it. So definitely a very versatile champion and been highly prioritized for a very good reason. All right, JackeyLove's Jhin, definitely classic here, and can follow up on whatever long-range stuff you pair with a Nocturne.
Yeah, essentially confirming that what we're going to be seeing from TES is leveraging their later picks for strong side laners and some sort of, when it comes to team fights at the very least, dive composition. You have a Nocturne, you have Jhin for the range support, missing a bit of CC, missing some divers to go alongside this Nocturne. I know we kind of always hate to see Nocturne as solo dive, really want someone else who's going to jump into that backline with him. And G2, now how do they want to respond? Xayah, of course, one of the best anti-dive options, but no longer available because G2 leveraged it in Game 3. So where do they want to put that focus now?
Lucian Milio on the menu, perhaps. All right, yeah, it's going to be a short-range dive comp. You've got Lucian and Vi here looking for the all-ins. Very powerful bottom lane, too. But Karma's still available. Jhin Karma, okay.
And I'll be honest, Kobe, I'm a little bit nervous. Lucian, historically, for the West, often not as dominant, but full faith in Otsama and Labrov. They've been doing incredibly well in the 2v2s thus far. They see the Jhin, they immediately want to lock this in. But again, we are in a situation where Labrov's best game thus far in the series was Lulu ranged, and then the other game was the last one on Rakan. The game they won, though, was when he had engaged, when he had those angles to really force fights on his own terms. He doesn't have that with the Milio.
Yeah, definitely not with the Milio. Much more looking for just buffing up Lucian. Make sure Lucian always has his passive. He's ready with the cleanse as well for the team. But, I mean, a Nocturne doesn't just have to go to attack for solo lanes. Nocturne could ult down there for bottom lane, too. Karma Jhin, lots of poke damage down there. So we'll see how they round it out. Mid lane, definitely the Talia that we mentioned. Since they dropped it, it's going to get banned out for sure. Such a good combination with the point and click. So good focus there.
Keeping our eyes on any other potential pairings. TES holding solo lanes as long as they possibly can.
What about Annie? I feel like Annie engaged with both of these one team, having really good options here.
It is also Creme's most played.
I feel like Annie is decent angle. Even could get taken away from the other side too. Because when you go super hard engaged, it's just so nice.
Annie gonna get banned.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, good call out. Good focus.
Also can be just such an effective neutralizing pick in the mid lane. Final ban here.
They banned the Vayne because they don't want ZUIAN to counter. So that signals to me that BrokenBlade just wants to play a tank and live in peace.
Maybe a Gnar angle.
On the top side, yeah, or a Gnar angle.
Just trying to take away the picks that can punish them the most
Ooh.
here.
Yeah. Silas, Akali, and Yone are like the super classic, really dangerous.
Hwei, another long-range component. We're missing that dive buddy for Nocturne, but now we have two champions who can really just operate.
Artillery.
Yeah, the artillery.
We have lots of artillery.
Then, I think a little bit more reliable CC would be good here. But, of course, Creme, excellent on the Hwei. Yeah. Has been, even since last year, one of the champions that I think he really excelled on, even as he was a player not known for his mages.
Okay. Caps. He did LeBlanc and Syndra this series so far. Into the Hwei, is it just like a Victor game or something like that? You need him to go real standard, or is he going to cook a little bit?
Victor good against what could have been a dive comp, but with so little dive locked in.
Twisted Fate
instead.
All right, talk about side lanes. Okay, so Twisted Fate one side, Nocturne on the other side. Battle of the Globals, and they go with the Tristana here for Creme. Okay.
No, wait, no.
Or we're swapping.
No. Do the math. Do the math. There's already a mid laner, Kobe. Do the math. That's a top lane Tristana.
Top lane Tristana, all the way up to counter a Gnar. Okay, ZUIAN.
We know he cooks. We've seen the Lucian top lanes. We saw Gwen when no one was playing it. This is not one that I have experience in.
Tristana counter into Gnar. Okay. All right, we're gonna jungle pressure up here. I mean, this is playing into a Twisted Fate too, though. You have the extra safety as well if they try and use their globals up towards you. You can try and buffer away from Vi.
Ulti into the Gnar ult, or whenever he goes Mega, is really effective at stopping any potential follow-up, because G2 have really nice single-target CC, but their only big AoE teamfighting tool really is that Gnar and Mega form. I like the look here. Again, Faith and ZUIAN here from the side of Top Esports really has paid off both times they've given him solid lane matchups. This time around, willing to let Creme blind pick to ensure he could have his pick of top lane counters. And Tristana, not the one that we were expecting, but I imagine the same is true for G2 Esports.
Yeah, and all of the Tristana top games have been into Gnars for the counter pick on Gnar. So let's see how well he can pilot it.
A spicy way to move things in, a dramatic shift, and I will say, there's an incredible lack of CC on the side of TES, but at the same time, if this composition gets ahead, it's going to be so difficult for G2 to play out.
Certainly is. I mean, like you said, they already were showing lots of faith in him in game number 1. He's going to look for the early contest, use up his bone plating.
BrokenBlade, they're both taking lethal tempo, but of course BrokenBlade less attack speed here, which means there's just no way for him to win that level 1.
Yeah, ZUIAN with Q with lethal tempo, that is just insane level 1, and he has bone plating
5
too.
seconds. So. BrokenBlade's gonna get zoned off this wave here in 3, 2, 1. Yep, all right. Rapid fire backup and available. Instantaneously stacking lethal tempo makes this level 1. You know, in bot lane, you don't see this, but in top lane, when it's just the 1v1, you have more range. Prehistoric Yordle versus Yordle with gun. Oh. It's pretty clear who wins.
Man, just the level 1 was just so brutal. Q plus lethal plus bone plating. Bye-bye.
Yep.
And now this is just ZUIAN town on top side.
Gonna continue to extend that lead. JackeyLove force shot is there, level 2. Cozy Campfire empowering Hansama. Nice sidestep on the deadly flourish. JackeyLove using the barrier to keep the trade going. Immediate recall coming in from fengyue. JackeyLove playing on the edge there a bit, but able to get the push forward. Unfortunately, G2 happy to just recall back Labrov, leave Hansama in the 1v1.
Okay. +1 on summoner spells for bot lane for G2 here. And Jackie forced to CS just with W here from afar, try and stay safe because Labrov staying in Fog of War in the brush.
Dash forward, Cozy Campfire there. Forward shot doesn't finish off Labrov. Flash in, Hansama determined to finish it. Nice flash back from Labrov. JackeyLove down. fengyue must not have skilled the shield. He couldn't save JackeyLove's life.
Yeah, Jackie really wanted to stick around at it and does not fully respect Labrov in the brush. Hansama moves up. They know they have the kill. Nicely done from him. Jackie tried to go for the 4-shot combination onto Labrov, but he wasn't quite low enough. Here's another look. Labrov canceled his recall, goes up. Just as he goes for that cannon minion, time to strike.
Yep.
Nicely done there.
Good
and
patience.
Hansama knows he could get the chase out. Now, though, Labrov.
fengyue, flash in, a little bit of extra shielding coming in from the warm hugs, but fengyue does manage to get the kill, and it looks like they will be able to crash this wave, at least denying some CS back in return, try to even the gold out.
Yeah, we come out of the replay after they had just gotten their first blood, and we see, oh, Labrov does such a good job. You know, he waits for Jackie to use his fleet footwork auto on the minion, you know, wait for the perfect timing, then moves up. And then on the reset, though, he stuck around, and fengyue is able to get a kill back on him.
And you're just happy that it's not the Jhin getting the kill, I think, at the very least.
Yeah. Definitely true. Jungle pressure up by the Tristana counter pick lane.
BrokenBlade trying to figure out a way to hop over, but Tian doesn't give him the angle to hop, flashes in to keep the fear tether going, doesn't quite finish it. BrokenBlade now in trouble, SkewMond on the way up. ZUIAN getting lower and lower. SkewMond moving in. Q flash perhaps is probably out of range. Instead just walking up. Labrov ready to back them up, but I imagine the play just fizzles here.
I mean, Labrov's coming around too. Okay, he's going for the reset now. Never mind. Recalling. They're calling it off too. Man, that was nicely played by BrokenBlade. Does go for the escape. Cancels the recall there with Tian putting the ward down.
Hansama is completely zoned off his tower as well. You just cannot be leaving a Lucian alone against the Jhin Karma. Jailed under his tower. Yeah, it's going to be a hefty cost to try and bail BrokenBlade out.
Very hefty. I mean, especially with the ward from Tian alerting Labrov's presence in that tri-brush and getting another cancel on the recall, delaying him even further. Yeah, lots of minions missed here by Hansama. You can see it impacting Lucian there. Almost, you know, cutting that gold lead in half, basically. Discounting the extra kill.
Of course, in the course of this series, we have seen Caps pass Ming in terms of international assists. Meanwhile, on the top lane, double bounce going over the wall. Time bomb still ticking. BrokenBlade wants to go Mega for the extra bit of health. ZUIAN. I don't know if BrokenBlade knows the word is here.
I don't think he did. When the maybe. Okay. He's so close to Mega, though.
SkewMond on the way up.
Can you bait him in?
Can you bait him in? Wallop is going to be big. Blocks him down. Q through. Down goes ZUIAN. That's the counter pick. G2 pay attention to the top side once again, and this time come away with a much bigger prize.
He's playing on the edge of that BrokenBlade this time. Baits him in, sets up the kill here for SkewMond. Nicely done by BrokenBlade. I mean, with how this series started, you know, this guy might need an apology for him because he escaped the gank initially from the counter pick Tristana and then sets up his jungler for a kill. Really nicely done in this game from BB.
That it is. Credit to the team as well. Bailed him out. It was looking pretty dire. Labrov, you know, they end up conceding about half of the advantage that Hansama had built for himself or that they had built in that 2v2. But TES still feel comfortably in control on the bottom side of the map. Know that they're going to have first prio, at least on the Scuttle Crab, if not the Drake as well. Nice burst trade. 800 gold in favor of G2 thus far. fengyue getting that bot lane kill, really the only thing that's not making it any worse, but not the most substantial gold lead yet, as it hasn't turned into any big complications. Spiraling Despair is there. Creme looking for the Severing Bolt. Quick flash out from Caps, understanding just how much damage would come through if he wasn't able to get away.
Oh, Creme does a very good job. He gets all this damage down onto Caps so that even though SkewMond's kind of passing through right after SkewMond got 6, there's no gank there because Caps is already out of the fight. Big damage from Creme. Nicely done.
Of course, Caps is going to be vulnerable in the mid lane as well. Has Summoner Spellbook, so he can get a little bit creative here, but without Flash against a Nocturne, hard to guarantee you'll be able to land that gold card. Really, the biggest sign of good news is the plated steel cap pickup for BrokenBlade and his advantage forcing ZUIAN to pick up a plated steel cap as well. You saw for a brief moment he got a recurve bow, realized he wasn't as far ahead as he wanted to be, instantly just picked up his own plated steel caps.
Meanwhile, now we're going to look at Dragon on bottom half of the map. Bot lane push in for JackeyLove and fengyue. So should be kind of a reverse story for this series where now it's early gold lead for G2, but early Dragons will be taken in compensation for the side of TES. And Nocturne is level 6 as well. fengyue going to stick around again.
The Q. The shielding there from Labrov, though. The warm hugs, making sure that Hansama could recall. fengyue, good damage. Is he willing to tank a tower shot? The answer for now is no, although Labrov.
Mantra up now.
Labrov. You can say he's baiting, but there's no one there to back him up. So I think maybe just
the minions are dying to the tower right now, too. So they're sending Lucian. Well, in
the top lane, gold card ready to go. ZUIAN hoping to find a way out of this one. No ulti available, no flash. We'll just jump into the tower. Gold card there, Caps. Knocks him out of the sky. Grabs a kill for himself.
Yeah, I mean, he picks the counter pick into a team that was already showing Twisted Fate. Caps goes top side. Meanwhile, yeah, the minions are dying on bottom side of the map, but G2 to send everybody up through for this Grubs. They've got 5 people here.
Completely ignoring the bottom lane. JackeyLove Tian, level 6, ready to go. The Spiraling Despair also up for Creme. Half health, he did use it now onto Hansama. Decent chunk to kick things off. Curtain call coming out. Labrov has to body block a bit, but can't afford to block too much. Knockback, Severing Bolt. Clean from Creme.
The artillery in this comp, Drakos. Really hitting home. BrokenBlade now gonna have to give up position. And they snipe the extra kill. 3 Grubs, though, for G2. So they do get their Grubs, but losing out their support. The Hwei damage and the Jhin snipe damage really pressuring and getting summoner spells as well as a kill.
Yeah, getting the flash, the heal, and the kill really just makes it so nice. And now fengyue able to support. ZUIAN in the top lane. Nice thing for the Karma in this game. 280 carries you can follow around if you want to. Both buying plated steel caps. It's a plated steel caps kind of game. Does make sense. Caps is the only magic damage, and TF magic damage, it's not the poster child of damage output. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and he's going for Rod of Ages as well, so. All right, let's take a look at this damage. So Creme lands so much onto Hansama that it's going to force Labrov to do a lot of blocking for him. Good dash there from Hansama, so he lives. But then a couple of the Jhin bullets hit. Labrov flashed the rain, the root thing still hits.
He's already marked and the projectile was midair. If
Yeah.
he had flashed a 1/10 of a second, maybe even like sooner than that, he would have been fine, but it's just that tiny difference that ensures the root connects and the Severing Bolt lands. Tiniest margin of error as we have a full engage in the top lane, but we're going to quick pan away as it's not going to pan out. Gnar utilized by BrokenBlade, doesn't connect. Tian, fengyue, hovering nearby. Ulti there, gold card ready to go. But it doesn't work.
That was like hide and seek jump scare. He's like, puts the blue trinket on him, and Tian's like, all right, fine, I'm going to immediately ult on you. And whenever you're getting close to a tower again with Tian and Caps, get a little nervous, so he backs off this time. Ult down, though, for Tian. I mean, that was very nicely done by Caps. Blue trinket, susses him out. Now Nocturne ultimate down. This is very early on, so your Nocturne ultimate cooldown quite substantial. And Caps avoids it with very minimal effort. Just
very
the
true.
trinket ward used.
Yeah, well played, good patience as well. Tries to get the timing with the wild cards and the gold card, but doesn't work, but doesn't need to because SkewMond is also there to cover.
Yeah.
Experimental Hexblade coming in for Tian, but unfortunately after the ult has been used, so isn't going to help with this initial cooldown. BrokenBlade has SkewMond to cover.
I mean, G2, look at this. They're bringing 5 people to the top side of the map, so TS are in defense, but they're outnumbered.
Caps on the way in. Gold card goes in onto Tian. Lockdown on the wall up. A great spell shield from Tian. Make sure that they can make their way out. Q getting stacked up. Creme flashing away. Nice pullback, but all the spells going a bit wide. Means there's not a lot of a damage. Follow-up is there. Spiraling Despair to the midst of the team. Exhaust down on his SkewMond, but Creme drops. He falls. All of G2 has arrived to the top side. JackeyLove cannot show up, so the man advantage for G2 just pays off. Tian running for the hills. Gold card once again, the spell shield there, but there's too many spells coming. Not enough time for that cooldown to come back. Hoping to get a kill back into SkewMond, but he's got the blast shield, he's got the hugs, and he's got the kill.
Yeah, TS, they don't account for all 5. It's a full overload played from G2. They sent full 5 members, so when TS are trying to like, oh, hey, we're going to counter this with a teleport and trap you, they fight between towers, down an extra person, keeping JackeyLove on the bottom side is the only kind of compensation that TS got, so Jackie did get to keep pushing, but that was unnecessary from TS after they had escaped. They had escaped the big play, but they're not fully respecting the full 5 members coming over because they see the Lucian so far so far down in the lane, and they call for the teleport on Creme. I mean, Hwei had to immediately flash out, and it's a bad spot between the towers. Really good job by G2 to focus Creme after that. This Hwei that had been so difficult to deal with from long range, doing so much artillery damage, now is teleporting into middle of your face into your lane. No flash, get the kill for G2. That is a huge momentum swing there, Drakos.
It's completely massive. I agree, and Creme had been such a nightmare in the mid lane, right? This control mage who can just effortlessly delete waves, stop you from being able to do anything in mid. Well, when he TPs in top, suddenly you have that angle. Downside for G2, again, you said kind of switching the script from what we saw in the first few games. They are the team with the gold lead, but they are losing Drake after Drake to the side of TES. The third probably going to force a fight as TES determined to bully down this tower. JackeyLove locked up, but they don't quite have enough damage to finish the kill yet. Caps on the way in, flash to the wall from BrokenBlade. Body blocking the Spiraling Despair, but he will drop. Curtain Call coming out alongside the Nocturne ulti, all of G2 in fast retreat as they body block for Labrov, ensuring the Curtain Call can't finish him. TES, a nice little play to knock down bot lane.
It's the exact opposite. TES try and do a full 5-person Overlord play on the other side of the map while they've got the split pushing AD carry for G2. But G2, they don't fight it. They escape. They extract their members defensively, and they allow the Lucian to continue the split push. BrokenBlade goes down. They drop the 1 kill only. And so it remains at a 2,000 gold lead. 2 dragons for TES. TES also get the tower. I mean, they spent a long time. It was kind of awkward because you saw Tian still hitting the tower. Like, this thing's taking a while BrokenBlade was trying to fight his way in. So it's just going to be this. fengyue does force the flash, so another cooldown used there. ZUIAN, he jumps in to try and help with killing the tower. BrokenBlade over the other side of that wall. And then the rest of the team, they evacuate, and they let Hansama keep pushing on the top side.
And that means Hansama is holding on to that gold lead, balancing out when JackeyLove was able to free farm in the bottom lane, taking down some plates. 2.5 items there. Sorry, 1.5 items there for Hansama. Similar story for JackeyLove. But G2, see if they can set up another play, potentially around mid lane. 16 seconds until that Herald will spawn. Next big objective on the map for both sides. BrokenBlade already starting to wander his way up from the bottom lane. Does have TP. Has been matched up against Creme, who actually doesn't have a TP. So G2 should have a man advantage here, and it looks like TES may just concede the objective.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the right play. And just try and go bottom or something. Nocturne here, you see Nocturne hovering through river. BrokenBlade, though, is going to have enough information. G2 have wards all over the place. So he plays it appropriately. And they kind of have to do this from TS side because the Hwei has no flash, so side lanes are kind of difficult to deal with, so they're covering for the Hwei to allow Creme to push out, get the extra money, and G2 will pick up the Herald.
And again, this goes back to the start of the game, the crucial play for G2, winning the bot lane 2v2, finding that kill, and bailing BrokenBlade out. Because Creme is not the strong side laner this Nocturne wants to be playing for. If he was playing for a mega-fed Tristana, this game would be a lot easier for TES at this stage of the game. But instead, ZUIAN just about even with BrokenBlade, 200 gold difference, but it doesn't mean too much. It doesn't stop BrokenBlade from sitting in lane the way it did at level 1.
All right. Got Tristana up on top side, going for the recall. He's got to get a purchase in. First item for ZUIAN will be big. Can they buy time for him? He canceled his recall. I needed a little bit more money. He's still farming up there. So G2, they're going to have priority to clear out all your vision. They see Tristana going for another wave. Means G2 going for the play.
TP into the bottom side. Instant paranoia coming out. Caps just backs off. Good patience. Happy with the trade of cooldowns. They also get ZUIAN's TP as well. TES fully believed that G2 were going to commit for the bot lane dive.
I don't think ZUIAN's bot yet, though. I think he teleports straight from the top side, so I don't think he has his completed item. And G2, they use the Twisted Fate. They're kind of running TS across the map here. Nice rotation back for them.
Tian, Ultra Mega Fire Kick, just pushes him back. G2 chipping away at those cooldowns. Might need recalls of their own, though. 1 minute until the objective, so they still have time. If they stick around too much longer, though, it's going to get awkward. Pull back. Bit split, though. One shot finally connecting, but only 1 of 4 thus far.
Good dodgeball skills.
That it is, especially with the slow coming in from Creme. Creme going to grab a plate. Hansama chunked out, but bot lane's just going to recall. 40 seconds on the Drake, so G2, I don't think are going to have time to set up perfect vision, but with Caps already splitting on the top side, it's likely the TES won't either.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, those are pretty big macro wins for G2 because since ZUIAN is running the flash exhaust, that teleport cooldown from the top lane quest is really long. So then getting that out and then making that rotation back for the extra turret plate, I think it was quite nice from them kind of running TS across the map. So TES, they're losing little pieces here incrementally to G2 in the setup for this Dragon number 3. And G2 positioned pretty well here with Hansama on 2-item power spike, SkewMond on 2-item power spike.
TES determined to fight for this third Drake. Hansama has the second item completed though, much more powerful than JackeyLove in the context of this fight. They're bringing in a TP of their own. Bot lane left unattended, so TES bleeding a bit of gold just to be here as BrokenBlade goes in, gets an instantaneous flash! G2!
Holy, that is value. His Mega Gnar is just expiring.
Now we're going to go back in. SkewMond going to kick the fight off. Gold card ready from Caps, but there's not really a clear target. Instant flash back from TES gives them a bit of space. Flash over the wall from BrokenBlade keeps him standing. ZUIAN looking for an angle in. JackeyLove, the curtain call not available. Spiraling Despair, a big cooldown for TES, but I don't know if they have enough left in the tank to finish this one out. Hansama chipped a little bit. Lack of vision from TES, determined to fight through the bottom lane.
Can they get the engage onto Creme? Creme does not have flash now after that last play. G2 going to force the issue here.
Tian maybe looking for the 50-50. TES just going to concede here. BrokenBlade mounted up, ready to charge into the Herald, and he's got his driving license. Not enough to kill the turret, but at least make sure to get value out of the Herald, and that's disrupting the Drake stacking from Top Esports.
G2 have TES on the ropes, man. TES are antsy. Their comp is so fragile, and no flash on Jackie or Creme now. They're trying to get back to their tower.
JackeyLove, flash out from Labrov. Han's hoping to finish the tower, but will just retreat. Another tower in the bottom lane, already chunked out. Hansama incredibly low, but dodges away from the grasping maw from Creme. And I gotta say, you brought it up earlier, right? We saw TES make a very similar play in the bottom lane to what G2 did, but they overcommitted. G2 instead this entire game have been kind of fake starting these plays, and TES are always believing it, always forced to respond, using a TP to ensure that they show up, flashing away from a Gnar instantaneously, because if they get caught, they know the fight is over, and G2 playing with this information so well. They're not overcommitting ever, and they're getting so many cooldowns for free.
And now, well, you're looking at a game where no flash Jhin and Hwei, and you have to tend to some side lanes versus Caps that has the Lich Bane completed, burst damage here for Twisted Fate. I mean, you do have a Nocturne on your team to try and cover, but
Hansama finished the tower. He thought he was going to finish the tower. It might cost him his life.
Whoa.
Flash out. Ulti coming in from Tian. Hansama trying to sidestep. Oh, it's an absolute disaster. The Milio falls. TES, 2 kills, gift wrapped. Donated. G2 giving him a bit back for the scuttle crab we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, what is it with this tower?
That was terrible. He's got 2 guns. Point 1 at the tower, point 1 at JackeyLove.
Ooh, I mean, it does make the game more interesting, Drakos. It does make it a lot more interesting. Yeah, he's cashing into it. Does not finish. Barely. Click on that. The tower had like, what, 30 something
HP.
health? Yeah. 37 HP left on it, and Tian punishes them for it, capitalizes on it. Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's the reaction you get when you're ahead in the game, though. When you're 2K up, that's the whoopsie, I mean, not the oh god, I've thrown the entire
You see the vision,
game.
though, right? You said it. He's like, oh, I'm gonna kill this tower instantly, and then turn on Jackie.
He's on his John Wick moment. Dash in, roll across the floor, shoot the tower. It goes down, pop onto Jackie. But no, you didn't kill the tower, and it did 1,000 damage to you. So.
Yeah, those towers are tanky, man.
Those towers are tanky.
Why is that tower so tanky?
What do you mean they're tanky with literally no minions there? That's crazy. So a bit of an upsie, but one that, gets things a bit closer, but doesn't cost too much quite yet. BrokenBlade with a double bounce, jumping off the Gromp, means he'll be able to walk away for now. Instantaneous ulti coming in from Caps. Locked down there on his way on, doesn't get the buffer, but knocks back the Gnar. Caps not a ton of damage, but more than enough to finish off the Tristana. This is the concern for TES. We talked about it when you fall behind against this TF. It's so difficult to get space on the map.
Yeah, good punish from Caps. This Tristana counter pick is not finding value. Tries to chase too far. They punish it immediately. And now he gets the tower!
We thought it was G2 versus TES, the rivalry, but it is Hansama versus that Tier 1 tower. Or Tian versus Scuttle Crab. These are the side stories we didn't expect to be talking about.
It's the real deep lore that gets you in these matchups.
Two members popping out of the brush there, but it looks like Caps and BrokenBlade now retreating. Gnar there.
They can long chase this with Jackie moving from mid.
That's the ulti coming in. Nocturne going face first into the Milio. He's now taken down. SkewMond going to be in trouble. Forced to run away. Flash in from fengyue, getting the slowdown. Looking to find the follow-up route. Excellent route coming in from JackeyLove to ensure the 2 kills. A shutdown over to the Jhin, and now he's the one with the lead.
That's what this comp has in spades. Extremely long range, the artillery. So you can rotate even from like half a map away. Get there with the extra pressure. Nocturne ultimate, Jhin W follow-up. 2 more kills for TES to keep it interesting.
We take a look now at the Coinbase gold grind. You can see Hansama, JackeyLove neck and neck, finding their golds from so many different sources as BrokenBlade trying to usher Tian out of his jungle. Hit him with a little scooch. Hansama coming in. Tian will manage to make it out on the back of the blast cone. If that angle was just a little bit different, he probably would have died for it.
Brother got the red buff though. Hell yeah, that's worth it. That just goes to show, yeah, my death at the tower for Scuttle Crab, don't care about that. I'm getting in there. It looks a little dangerous to you. Don't care. Give me that buff.
That's nice to have too, because you don't want to be giving it to Caps or Hansama. Don't want SkewMond to be picking it up. And again, so often these high-level games are about the littlest advantage. Who can get a flash cooldown before a fight starts? Who can get an ulti cooldown before a fight starts? So no reason red buff can't enter that picture.
I love it. Never lose your edge. All right, now though, speaking of edge, teleport in mid. Dragon is up. Nocturne ultimate ready to rip.
Rapid fire cannon there for Caps. He is a fast boy. JackeyLove has to be careful. And SkewMond off on the side finds Creme. Immediate Nocturne ulti coming out. Exchange for the culling. The objective getting lower and lower, though. G2 going to have to run face first into TES. The 50-50. Creme, the one who takes the Drake. It's probably going to spare on to SkewMond. Not a lot of follow-up damage. Knockback onto BrokenBlade right as he's about to go mega. Curtain call to give TES a little bit more space. And G2 retreating into TES's own jungle.
Can they trap them, though? Who's running from who?
Flash out, follow-up for BrokenBlade. Manages to catch out Tian, but it's not the target that he wanted. Excellent reaction from TES. BrokenBlade down. JackeyLove looking for the chase. Curtain call already down. 4-shot, raring to go. G2 don't get the Drake. They lose 1 in the exchange. TES fighting back very well.
What a standoff. And it is so scary because, you know, you have to be the initiator versus this team that is all damage trying to get in there. They barely cannot squeeze it through. Flash use on Gnar. He goes down. Okay, so back to the beginning though. TES, they try and burn down the dragon during Nocturne ultimate. It gets very close. And you'll see Creme put another snare, but it went onto Caps. So Caps could not go from the other side. SkewMond does not get the dragon, and they're able to chase them off. But here's the choice. Do you decide to just go mid, push mid for mid prio, or chase TES? And BrokenBlade, he really sees this angle, wants to get the Flash Gnar ultimate, but he cannot get the big group. The escape there, flash from Nocturne. They're able to jump out from the other side. He wanted more than that.
That he did. And again, the early lane, so hard. Managed to make it out relatively unscathed, but he knows that the gold lead has been getting closer and closer. And TES now at sole point. The next fumble, the next mistake is going to have dire consequences for either side. ZUIAN only using the rocket jump will have the flash. Creme and Tian could be vulnerable in these coming minutes, as could fengyue. Caps has a flash, the exhaust, rapid fire cannon. It's going to be very easy for G2 to find a pick ahead of the next objective.
Yeah, same could be said for both sides. Pick for pick. Long range, Nocturne ultimate, Twisted Fate ultimate, Vi ultimate. Tending to the side lanes is very dangerous, of course. So Creme, another cooldown rotation where he does not have his flash. Used it so early at the beginning of the last one, had to. But it does mean G2 have an easier time pushing out these side lanes. Now that they're showing bottom with the Twisted Fate, Creme can feel confident. He moves up to get the top side going for himself. And we go for the recall, the reset. Can either of these junglers, I don't think there's any world where they're going to get enough money for Guardian Angel because they're still just sitting on tiny component here, no BF sword, so looks like it's going to be a fair fight. Everybody only 1 life for the next dragon. 2 minutes are on the clock there, though. So if you put a flash or something now in one of these, like, just attempts to like push a side wave or something, then you are going to pay for it very heavily when that dragon does come around for the big fight.
And with 2 minutes left on the clock till Dragon responds, you can use an ulti to get a flash and still have that cooldown up for that big fight. JackeyLove, excellent position in terms of experience. Hansama with 3 items. Infinity Edge completed. He does a lot of damage, but will he get an angle to fight? TES doing such a good job of playing maximum range here. Nice poke coming in. Gold card onto fengyue. He does have Mikhails. They maybe hope to find him on that one. BrokenBlade determined to finish the tower. Caps immediately going to ult into the top lane, looking to punish ZUIAN. Running for his life. Nice damage coming in for Caps. Boomerang there as well. He's just got nowhere left to run. That's top laner down, but it's going to cost G2. Mid lane tower. G2 on the top side, though, no, they have to keep pushing to get more, but it's risky. Tian moving up, has access to the paranoia. So they will just back away.
Super smart move there from G2. They ring him around a rosy here. Now can they actually circle again? I mean, they stayed here for another play, and they find Tian.
Tian. Off to the side, fear there, JackeyLove looking to back him up, gold card connects onto the Nocturne, jungler down! Crucial for G2, Tian overconfident to try to retake his own jungle.
Man, the games from G2, Caps kind of slinking off to the side, ults up to the top, they go for the kill there, they got the pick, then they stick around, now with no jungler and no top laner.
TP in, big damage, but Hansama's already at half HP, curtain call opening up. 5K, G2, can they afford to just focus down the objective? Have to respect the Jhin force shot. JackeyLove continuing to walk up. Baron will fall in favor of G2, but how many can make it alive? Caps waiting over the wall, finds the gold card onto Creme. Q flash forward coming in from SkewMond. Hansama still alive, but isn't in position to fire back. G2 happy to have 5 Barons up. Will back away, still standing.
Is everybody going for the reset? I want to see if there were anybody sticking around to go for some of these snipes here. But G2, they get it. Paid off from that last couple of minutes. Really nicely done there, using the Twisted Fatal, attack the side, wrap around, kill the jungler, and now, with the Baron buff, they can finally move over for this dragon. Deny the soul once again is priority number 1. And TS, if you look at the minimap, they're sending Karma topside too, so that was a trailing play for them. They fully give up on this dragon soul. They're just gonna try and get cross-map gold.
Didn't want to risk it all on that soul. It would be nice to stop G2 from being able to fully leverage the Baron. The risk simply too high. Creme clutch on these snares. The TES just going to do their best to weather the storm again. You have a control mage in the form of the Hwei. If G2 can't find a dive angle, I expect it just to be some tier 2s falling. Range of the culling, range of the gold card though. Maybe they can break open the base of TES.
Caps is ready for a Messiah moment too. He's got an arm guard. And exhaust, spellbooked over to exhaust at the moment. Well, they're just gonna continue their split push though. I mean, ZUIAN does finish up that top tower.
Ulti into the mid lane though, catching out SkewMond, looking for an angle to Q away.
Ooh.
Does manage to escape, denies the play, and now bot lane is going to be vulnerable if G2 want to push for more. Instead, they're going to try to punish TES. Cap's already moving over, hoping to catch out JackeyLove, who all on his lonesome doesn't have access to fengyue's Mikhails.
Now they can actually wrap around. They're pinging to go
big
for
wrap,
Caps.
though. Look at the mini-map. G2 forcing down the towers way on into the mid lane. Caps going golden. No chance for a Messiah play. Just gets a little space for the team. Exhaust onto JackeyLove, running for dear life as his team breaks open the base of TES.
Caps for inhibitor. They get the shutdown kill, and the money goes to Creme. TES trying to get scrappy around the rest of the map. They make the play, wrap around mid. They break the arm guard, and they get the kill. But super minions will be flooding into the base now. Thankfully for TES, it's still 3.5 minutes before these big buffs though, so honestly, not that bad for them. Still definitely very playable.
That it is. Especially as we see G2 pushing in the top wave. As long as they can protect someone on the catching that one, they should be fine, as bot wave will be perma-pushing. You highlighted it. If there's an objective up, that inhibitor being down would be a nightmare, but you're only going to have 1 minute and 30 seconds if G2 immediately kill Baron of spawn of those empowered supers, so should be fine. Now, however, poking and prodding around the bottom side. I think both teams very aware that Soul is the big focal point. It would be Soul point for G2, actual Cloud Soul for the side of TES. Make their lives a lot easier in those fights. Although it's kind of bad on Jhin. Can't go with that. Kind of terrible on Jhin. The rest of the team.
Just post up sniper.
Post up.
Put the gun back down.
I want you to know if I was running, I would be really fast.
All right. Well, I mean, Tristana's about to collect a massive wave on top side. And ZUIAN needs that money for an Infinity Edge for the Tristana. If they could get to the Infinity Edge in the next couple of minutes, that would be huge for them. Try and funnel that money into them.
No. Double 80 carries, having that extra threat you highlighted would just be so massive. Again, so many single target tools for the side of G2. They can pick off one member, but if there are 3 carries on the enemy team, should be pretty comfortable. BrokenBlade, though, happy with those defensive items. The fact that he gets to build plated steel caps and the Randuins against 2 crit champions on the enemy team is a dream come true for item efficiency.
Yeah. And everybody's going to have summoner spells available except for fengyue for the big objectives. Arrival of both of them is going to be synced up very closely here. So, the advantage that TES have, you make them think. You play the vision games around the Baron and make G2 split resources because they have to deny you this Dragon Soul, but they also cannot afford to give up a Baron. Can you make them pay for it with your long range and punish with the double objectives available?
It'll be a little bit harder. The broken arm guard. Enough time has passed now that Cap's been able to turn it into a full Zanya, so can once again go for a Messiah play or get a little bit more time in a team fight, make the picks from Tian a little bit less lethal. GA also there for SkewMond and Tian, so getting a lot of second lives at this point. Feels like it's coming down to potentially one final fight here around this soul.
G2, I like that. They take priority first, fully sweep all vision coverage away from the Baron. Leave some behind in the pathway that leads up to it. Really make this safe for yourself so that TS are not able to play that game between the 2 objectives. They push up. They're also going to have caps here with Twisted Fate Ultimate. Twisted Fate, the ultimate reveal for those plays.
We'll have perfect information as G2 fighting over mid prio, fighting over bot prio, knowing that the supers should make it easy. Not letting TES get an angle to just move through mid or move through bot as SkewMond poking a bit. Gold card coming out for Caps. Lockup is there. Down goes the Nocturne. A second life coming in. Gnar coming in from behind. Rage starting to stack. Tian needs to live if he wants to help his team get this one. Caps goes in with the gold card, determined to take him down. Willing to trade his own life, but Tian still survives. Root coming in. He'll catch Caps on the way out. Flash in, going in. SkewMond wants to make a difference. BrokenBlade carries Nox back into the wall, but the follow-up damage just isn't there. ZUIAN wants to make it out. Manages to take one in return. Q coming through. Interrupt is there. It's an absolute bloodbath. Dragon be damned. G2 might just go for the game.
Forget Messiah, holy moly, Caps there, re-engage! He makes it happen in G2, they're inside the base!
Creme desperate to recall.
Caps is on the
might
Nexus.
not be able to stop him. Caps, can he finish it? He's got the Lich Bane, he's shredding through the towers. Recall there, BrokenBlade doesn't spot him. They can't close it.
Yeah, they don't know. They can't go for the end, but they're gonna get 2 inhibitors off it. Holy, that was incredible! The follow-up there, after the re-engage, they get the extra kills. They continue to take apart the TES base piece by piece, and yet TES still lives, still fighting in this game. Here's another look at it. This was honestly kind of crazy. So, starts out really good focus. They burst down. Hansam was able to follow up the damage too. They get the Guardian Angel, and then Tian is so low that Caps is like, I'm going to go follow for this and use my Zonias. Then the rest of the team needs to follow up. But because Nocturne Ultimate, like, they take a little while, then the team gets there. Caps lives as they get there. They get the kills, but then so much damage in the counter here. Just before he goes down, ZUIAN was able to get that last one.
Really just the slimmest of margins. You can see JackeyLove hurts. One auto taking out about half of his HP as now we have another fight breaking out. Tian gonna use Destiny coming out as well. Colin getting a bit of chip damage down onto Creme. TES now forced to back away. Trading cooldowns for cooldowns. Ulti in onto JackeyLove. They know he's vulnerable. Redemption down across the top. SkewMond getting a bit of extra healing, but he's forced to retreat. TES have absorbed the initial engage and are now looking to turn with the curtain call. Second shot landing. Third, fourth, waiting. Not gonna find a target.
Wow, this game is insane. Gold card immediately uses Mikhail's there from fengyue. He's fine. They're going to have to back off. Okay, Baron here on the table. Super minions are off the table for bottom side, and yet mid lane, they still have to deal with this.
Tian. We've seen how willing he is to fight for these red buffs. Moving into contest, SkewMond so damn fast on the Cloud Rift, especially with that additional movement speed. BrokenBlade recall denied, or at least slowed down. Supers in the mid lane, though, mean G2 should always be able to get first on this objective.
Infinity Edge done here for ZUIAN. He had gotten that other kill at the very end of the tail end of that last fight. And then the rest of this money here. Now up to 3 items for the Tristana. He's still a full item behind BrokenBlade, but now so much more of a threat when they get into these little scraps. G2 still with a substantial gold lead, and yet Dragon Soul pretty far away.
That they are. 3.5 minutes, 3-3. The next one. One of these teams will be grabbing the soul. You can see JackeyLove, though, picking up a QSS of his own, so it'll be double cleanses in the next fight to make sure that he doesn't get picked off. TES, earlier in the game, we were critical, right? They didn't quite have the discipline they needed to back off. But in these later fights, they've been so good at not overcommitting on a single cooldown, forcing G2 to burn a little bit more.
Yeah, and Creme's Hwei is doing so much damage. You know, the only reason G2 couldn't end in the last one, his spiraling despair actually popped and killed SkewMond at the very end, so there was only Caps in the base. If that was Caps and SkewMond, you know, maybe they actually could, but they're going for a pick on him.
There, Caps isolated, but manages to ult out just in time.
Ult for ult.
Doing from SkewMond. Locks up fengyue. Extra healing coming in from the Mantra W. Root. Severing, oh my gosh, severing bolt. The good news is the shielding, the healing, it's enough, but this is the artillery we mentioned before. You have to be careful if you're G2 on overcommitting.
My goodness. So much damage in this game. It's so incredible to watch. And the Guardian Angels, the cooldowns are coming up very shortly, so we're going to have those junglers with the extra lives on the front line to force it again. Baron started up by G2. They can look for the turn here. BrokenBlade has a good build on his Gnar Bard right now. It's very close to Mega Gnar. He can pop it.
Wants to get Tian out of this. Wall up, good backstep coming from Tian. 3K in the Baron, getting lower and lower. SkewMond managing to secure it. Technically Cap's the one to get the kill, but it's G2's Baron in the end, and that's all that matters.
Great force by G2. Take over vision coverage. Leave your Mega Gnar the wall here, not allowing TES in. They have lots of damage, they have lots of range. They don't have anyone who's a great face checker. And G2, they gain the Baron. Again, another setup here for Dragon Soul. 1 minute, 18 seconds on the clock.
And they will still be empowered by the Baron in this Red Bull Baron power play. I imagine it'll just be used to get access to this Drake. G2 4v4, Hansama stepping up, Colin doing a lot of damage to Tian. Still a minute. Be able to back away.
Yeah, a minute ahead of the Dragon, so everybody can just go reset after this.
Caps. Ooh. Chipping away that health bar. TP up.
They want the kill. They want the kill.
ZUIAN dash back in onto Caps. Exhaust immediately traded for exhaust. Knockback is there. Reset on the jump, but Caps TP in right back in. He's not done yet.
How good is this guy? Caps in the previous game. Caps here on Twisted Fate making some critical plays for G2 to gain map priority. They find the pick, and now they're coming for the base.
Might not even need the soul. 2 inhibitors exposed. BrokenBlade to look to make it a third. TES on the ropes. They were 2-0 up, and now it's G2 who may just be pushing us to silver scrapes.
Oh, they're closing in, Drakos.
TES running out of time to force a fight. Rapid fire auto is going to break a tower here in a second. Nocturne ult immediately comes up. Creme locked up on the backside, but still has enough HP to throw out another round of cooldowns. May need to go back to the fountain, but opts not to. Labrov getting lower and lower. Tian in trouble. BrokenBlade leaping into the enemy fountain, looking for the knockback, and they've managed to do it. G2 take us to a game 5.
G2 versus TES. Tied up here in Daejeon.